What's up, team? Sean from Invest to Live here. And today I want to talk about something that's just been top of mind. And I thought I would share because it's really helped me out a lot in my life. And I think that something you can really do in your life as well, especially if you're sort of in your late teens, your early 20s, you're kicking off your career, sort of your vision for yourself in the future. I'm not going to waste any time giving you the whole preface here. I'm going to jump right into it. So, look, whether you're trying to become an entrepreneur or wealthy or get a six-figure job, the most important thing you can have, in my experience, is a point of view that's unique and differentiated. Let me explain what I mean by that. So if you're wondering like, hey, how do I make more money so I can invest more and buy some real estate, or I want to own a big house someday, or you know what, I want to fly private when I get older. It really truly starts with creating a point of view. And there's steps you can take to really help to build out a point of view and build it tight and be able to present it in a tight fashion. So I'm going to give you three different examples from an entrepreneur's perspective, how you go about getting a job, and from an investment perspective as well. There's no secret investment advice. There's no secret job advice here. These are things that you should be doing already, and you can probably do in your job today to actually move into a new position or make some more money. So I just want to call all that stuff out. I literally just flew back from meetings in Dallas. So if I look like I just fell off of a plane, I basically pretty much did. So I want to just say, like, I live this life of traveling, investing, these kinds of jobs. This is what I do for a living. I've interviewed literally thousands of people over the years for jobs that pay more than six figures. So I know what we look for. I know the kind of questions we ask. And same goes from the investing perspective and the entrepreneurial perspective as well. So let me jump right in. So a point of view is essentially how you approach something or look at a situation, an account that you're trying to sell to, a job, an investment opportunity, a product that you're building or a solution you're building or a company you're building, right? A point of view is your take on it, right? I have point of views about lots of things. What's your favorite TV show? Why? What sport do you like to play? Why? That's your point of view. What's important to it about you? What are the things you see in it that are important, right? That's the easy way to approach this. When you're starting to talk about applying point of views to sort of higher level financial things, it's really important to be super tight and as unique and full of perspective as possible, so you're not full of fluff when you talk about it. So let me start with this. I think this is the one that's most important for a lot of people who are probably listening. If you're kicking off your career, or you're in a career and looking for a change, or you realize that maybe you're underpaid or not paid what you should be, the most important step you can take to increasing the output financially there is to have a point of view on it. So I'll give you a great example. Typically, the jobs that are paying the highest, I'm excluding things like doctors, attorneys, those types of jobs for a second. I'm talking your standard like high-level sales jobs, working in software. I'm talking about being a solution engineer in the software SaaS business. We're talking about product managers. We're talking about project managers, right? Not that super high-end executive leadership, not an SVP, not even a VP, right? We're talking about jobs that you can get by putting together the right kind of resume with the right story and the right point of view. So I want to give you a quick example from a sales perspective, because right now, if you don't know this, companies are desperately looking to hire salespeople. And it's becoming actually a huge challenge in the market right now. I can think of, off the top of my hand, probably 25 or 30 openings right now just at one company that I work with on a regular basis, and they have no prospects filling out those jobs. I just today got an email from a former employer who's asking what it would cost to get me to come back and rejoin again, because they don't have anyone who is doing what I'm doing, which is heavily in the AI and data machine learning space. But a point of view is really simple. When you're applying for these kinds of jobs, think a sales job in this example at a software company. It could be big, it could be small, it doesn't matter. Your point of view that you're going to deliver, excuse me, to that person conducting the interview is going to be your unique perspective on how you're going to approach that territory, how you're going to produce more than the people who have done it before you, and what's unique about your perspective, why your approach, why this product, why this company is the right time to have you, right? I believe that with my skill set and the products and solutions that you offer, we can do this. And I'll approach the territory with these methods or measures. And when I speak to clients, I'm going to deliver it in this kind of a way. If you watch some of my other videos, I talk about things like data intelligence, analytics, etc. Now, my approach isn't to go in and say things like, I am really interested in business intelligence. I see the value in reporting. I think lots of companies use dashboards, and that makes a lot of sense. My perspective is that we want to drive a more intelligent experience for our customers, where data is driving insights directly to their users to have a positive return on capital, a positive return on revenue, while also keeping an eye on keeping those costs low. Now, additionally, with this exact customer set, we might be seeing growth in their industry or subsector. And at the same time, we know that the biggest challenges for those customers are these two or three things, right? That's how you start to build your perspective. What's even more, if you can tie in your personal skill sets, you love cold calling, right? Or maybe you hate cold calling, but you write really great emails. Well, include some of the stuff you've done there. This is not generic. I'm telling you, a lot of people who come to interviews, and I'm sure in the comment section, everyone's going to say that I'm wrong. It's fine. But I'm telling you, in a lot of interviews, not only do people not bring point of views, they don't bring perspectives at all on any of this stuff. And what's more is, come prepared to leave me something that tells me what's unique about your perspective. Tell me about a newsletter you kicked off that now you share with 200 people in your college or in your company today to keep them abreast of the market, of what's going on, of what's happening, what's new. And it doesn't have to be software. It can be any industry at all. But make sure that when you come in, you're presenting that point of view in a very succinct fashion, right? Like, I believe software sales is exploding right now for these reasons. The industry is seeing an uptick per year of this amount. And we're seeing market caps within the mid-market segment that sells to manufacturers growing by this percentage, right? Come in with that point of view and tie it to the product's success. Additionally, have a point of view on the company you're interviewing with, okay? Super, super important. You go in, I worked at IBM for almost 10 years. I'll give you an example. Don't go into IBM and say, hey, I'm interested in working here because IBM is a really cool company, or because it's been around for a long time, or whatever reason. Go in and specifically call it out. Here are some of the things that I know you recently have been working on. I've seen some news stories about. I decided to dig in and understand more about them and see how interesting they were. And I decided that, you know what, this really aligns with who I am, the kind of things I want to provide to customers someday and grow my career into. That's what they want to hear. You tie that with your point of view in the market in general, and you're going to look like a great prospect. So that's just a quick piece on the jobs role. But even in your current positions, like I think that if you're working for a manager or a leader who doesn't understand why you're bringing them on point of view, or maybe the way you're thinking about it could be beneficial, maybe it's not you. Maybe you're in the wrong spot. It's not the right career for you. And I'm telling you again, I'm completely serious when I say this. There are a lot of jobs out there, a ton of jobs that pay more than 6 figures a year. And I'll spare you right now. You can scream and yell they require MBAs or master's degrees. They don't. 100% they don't. Okay. So keep that in mind, and feel free. I'll happily rebuttal anyone who wants to say that that's the truth. So I'm just calling that out right now, right off the bat. So switching gears over to the entrepreneurial perspective as well. I think that what many entrepreneurs get wrong when they're trying to raise capital or get their company off the ground or build a brand around themselves and their company, they forget oftentimes the point of view of the person using the company. It's very easy to get super excited about what you're building, what you want to position. But if you can't tell me in a couple of sentences, here's why I'm building it, here's who I'm building it for, and here's my unique perspective of the gap that this product, solution, or company will fill, and here's the value it's going to bring to its end users and in return to investors and founders. That's what I want to hear, right? I want to hear, hey, toothbrushes have been made wrong for 200 years. Let me show you why it's better. It has a 14% better chance of cleaning plaque off your teeth and yada, 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 right? Like, back it up by the data, back it up by something that's driven on KPIs and metrics. This is how you raise money. This is how you raise more money. And this is how you keep raising money, is keep adding value, keep shifting your point of view to be stronger and tighter with more data as it comes in. This goes to the job piece as well. You don't have to stick to a POV, a point of view, or a perspective. You can keep changing and pivoting as more data comes in, but make sure you're backing it up by that data. Now, I think also from the investment perspective, it's super, super important to do your research, do your due diligence, and learn to ask more questions. This is a major issue I see with the sort of younger generation coming up, is the connections on the social aspect are phenomenal. It's good to be connected to lots of things, following lots of stories, be on different platforms. But sometimes you need to look up and look at a parking lot. How full is it? What stores are people going into, right? Who's advertising for what company? What kind of growth rates are they seeing? How is the market shifting? Are we going from tech into finance, from finance into manufacturing? Is there an issue going on with commodities or supply chains? This is how you build a point of view for your investments also. And the better you get at a point of view on an industry, and then a sector, and then a subsector, and then the companies within it, and the more specialized and tight you can get on that, the more value you bring to your portfolio by looking for those winners well ahead of time, again, based on data, but based on data that you're gathering that other people aren't, because it's unique to your perspective based on the work that only you are doing. This same approach helps you when you go and try to get those jobs that pay six figures. Or maybe you realize within a certain subsector, no one's really doing it the way that you think it should be done. There's your entrepreneurial approach to doing it. And the reason I had kind of a clickbaity title here a little bit is this is the groundwork. This is the basement to building millions of dollars of wealth or six-figure jobs. You can't just walk into these positions and get them. They're going to want to see things like experience. Typically, they're going to want to see, ability to present live. They're going to want to see if you can demo a product, right? But if you have a unique point of view or perspective that's so different that you can knock socks off, a lot of companies will say, you know what, we're willing to take a chance on you. And you have to ask for that chance, by the way, also. And real big point on this, for the love of God, please send a follow-up email reiterating all of the things you covered in your perspective and point of view and why you're good for that company. Because I'm telling you, most candidates don't do that. And that's a big, big deal. Same with the entrepreneurial front. If you don't feel like your answer is succinct to anyone, to my kids, to your neighbors, to your parents, keep working on it until it is succinct and clear. This is the value. This is the value proposition. This is the perspective to why it's going to win. This works for investors and consumers alike. So make sure you're really tight there as well. And then on the investment front, again, look, know when's the right time to get into something because you've done the work. This could mean watching 50 different YouTube videos, right? Maybe that's your first step to learning about investing. But then it's starting to read the 10Ks, investor decks. This is starting to call and see how long it takes to get someone on customer service and comparing that to other companies, right? If enough people get frustrated, will they switch brands? It's possible. This is what a point of view is. This is why a point of view matters. And again, before everyone blows up the comments that like you have to have an MBA to get a six-figure job and you have to already be rich to make $1 million investing and no one can raise money as an entrepreneur. Yes, you can. I've done them all. I can assure you it's all completely doable. It's completely doable. Get comfortable with this, consistently reiterate, write it down on a piece of paper, put it inside a Word doc, but make sure you're building point of views all the time and they're tight and they speak to who you are and what you're interested in. So that's it. I had this on my mind on the plane coming home because I threw up a post on Twitter the other day basically talking about the fact that I had I was hitting the road at 3 a.m. for a 4:30 flight. I was hitting Dallas, had, multiple meetings that day, multiple lunches, then a dinner. Then the next morning I was up again for another flight so I could get to another meeting. And I was saying like the hustle and grind life and the lifestyle that comes with it seems very glorious on social media, but I haven't slept in 2 days. I'm completely exhausted and I plan to do that after this. But you don't get to a point where people want you that in demand. They want to get you in front of them. They want to bring you on site and they want to pay you for that. You don't get there unless you have a unique perspective that no one else has. And it doesn't matter what the topic is. You get really, really, really good at that perspective for investments. You can probably build a whole career in financial services off of that. If you're an entrepreneur and you bring something totally unique and totally different that can change the market, even by 1%, that's billions of dollars of revenue for you someday in your company and makes you a very wealthy person. And from the job perspective, look, I don't care if you're working at a job that pays minimum wage or you're already making $100K a year. If you can look around and find ways to improve yourself, the process, the people, the products, the solutions, whatever it is, bring it up to people, talk about it, but don't just mention it in passing. Formalize it. Hey, here is my quick and simple point of view on this topic. Here's my perspective that's unique to me. Bring the point of view on everything you do. You're going to find more value in your life. You're going to find more things come to you easier. And to be clear, this isn't just about money. This is about finding the things you want to be involved in. I hear this all the time. Hey, do what you like and won't feel like a job. Well, I like to sit around and relax. Can I do that for a living? Probably not, right? But maybe you can figure out a way to make that work. Maybe it's just streaming all day, whatever. But either way, come into the stuff with the right purview, do the research, do the education you need to do the work to get a succinct point of view on the things you're pushing for. And you know what the odds are? You're probably going to do a hell of a lot better than you would have without it. So with that, thanks for watching. Let me know if there's anything else I can add on these. I was going to actually bring on someone from, I don't want to say the name, another really big company, and have a conversation about how we hire people, the questions we ask, what we look for, and just in general, how you can meet more people like us to potentially go for those jobs. If that would be of value to you, let me know below. if nobody responds, I'm just going to assume nobody cared. So thanks so much for watching. Have a good night. I'm going to go get some rest. I'll talk to everybody later. Thanks.